Hello and welcome to workout 2. So we're going to be doing our usual warm-up, and core and stretch. But this time the conditioning section is going to be dumbbells, but there will be an option to use a TheraBand as well, which I'll explain. But as ever, a nice steady warm-up now. Playing the playlist if you want. This is all choreographed to Alicia Keys' It's On Again. So with these star jumps, we're just getting gradually larger and larger, but just going at your own pace. Same here now with feet forward and back, just starting off small and getting wider and wider. So you should feel it in the quads. Just trying to keep those shoulders as relaxed as possible, rebounding off the floor. And now just walking those hands out and coming into a plank thruster. So you reach up high to the sky, just keep on the same leg and repeat that. And then remember the leg you've done, because we'll do the other leg for the next round. So into a plank position now, tapping out the hands to start with, hips staying as steady as possible. You might need to go on your knees for this point, that's absolutely fine. But just keeping that head in line with the spine. Good stuff, guys. And now just jumping those feet out, in and out, actually, but then getting bigger and bigger as you go. So similar to those other moves. They're really dynamic by the end. Again, you can just tap in one at a time. In and out one at a time if you need. Now, mountain climbers, starting off small, getting bigger and bigger. Good. So just keep that rhythm going. Again, just tapping if you need rather than running. Stretching back now. This time driving the other leg up and back. So we do 2 nice, slow, full range plank thrusters. And then back into a plank. And just tapping your feet out one at a time to the side now. So I'm sure you're feeling it in your arms by now as well, being in this position so long, but just keep going, guys. Really activating that core. Just going to stretch back now. And then into some press ups. You can do full press ups if you want. I find I keep a much better technique if I just go on my knees here. So you lead with your chest, just keeping the integrity of the body, lowering down, all in one unit. Okay, just coming back up into those plank thrusters again. Now we're going to switch legs each time for this one. So up on one side and then switch to the other side, reaching high, coming forward, bringing that weight back over the wrists. If you can now to finish, just lifting one arm and then the opposite leg. It's quite a challenge, so don't worry if you can't. You can just lift one arm or one leg instead of both together, but just making sure they're the opposite ones. Okay. Well done. Great stuff. So we're going to go into our dumbbells here now. We've got 2 groups and we're going to go round each group 3 times. This is just a generic playlist here of just some upbeat tunes, so feel free to use it otherwise. Straight in now then, guys. We're going to do, so it's dumbbell squat tribes, sorry, got the name there, as option 1. If you don't have the dumbbells, you can you can stand on a TheraBand and just put it underneath your feet, hold it in both hands, and as you jump, you will just, it'll almost give you an extra bit of a bounce actually in swinging those arms forward. But the key thing is to keep that back really straight. Option 2 then, it can be a bit hard to balance. That's more focusing in on those hamstrings. So as ever, option 2 is if you tend to have any bad knees. So it's a really good one. Just to still get that leg strength. Okay, 15-second recovery now. Calf bounce press is the exercise for option 1. So a really good one just for foot and ankle strength, but you'll also feel it in your core. Otherwise, option 2 is just going on to the other leg. So it's a single leg Russian deadlift. So if you're on option 1, just taking that weight out in front of you, Only going as far as what you feel you can, so you can still control the movement without getting tense in those shoulders. Really making sure that the tailbone is tucked under there so you can really activate that core. It's only small little bounces. We just want to get that natural elasticity. Otherwise, option 2, just still looking in front of you on the floor, making sure that you are keeping as balanced as possible. Okay, now both sides are the same for this exercise here. So if you want a slightly easier option, you can just make the figure of 8 smaller. So it's like a figure of 8 on its side. If you're using a TheraBand for this, then just fold it double and still draw the figure of 8, but just introduce some tension into the band by pulling it apart slightly and keeping it pulled apart. So it's not a dynamic movement, you're just holding it in that extended position. Otherwise, well, for whichever option you choose, the key here is to keep the hips facing forward. Notice I've got a slight bend in the knees as well. That's just going to really encourage the core to activate also. So yeah, just twisting, hips staying forward. Nice, large figures of 8, just showing you from the side there how my back stays nice and controlled. Okay, so as I say, we're going to go through those sets again. So I'll not commentate on these next ones, so you can just really focus in on your own form and yeah, play your music louder if you want to. Okay, good luck. Okay, so you have a longer recovery now between the two groups. So we're going to be doing some lunges and then another kind of twisting motion that works the abs and the arms while standing. So yeah, just have a drink, have a stretch. Obviously, there'll be another option if you don't want to do the lunge option as well. Also, just to explain in advance for the lunge exercise, it's going to involve you standing on a TheraBand with a TheraBand under one foot, then holding the TheraBand. It's either double or single, okay, depending on how strong the band is or how strong you are, and then just keeping that foot on the floor as you then press overhead with the TheraBand and then lunge forward with the other foot. So hopefully it'll become clear as you watch the dumbbell example. Similarly for option 2, that also will involve standing on a TheraBand if you don't have a dumbbell. So as you can see there, the same leg as what the TheraBand is under, that is your back leg. You don't have to lift it off the floor as I'm doing here. You just keep it on the floor if you have a TheraBand. Now, option 2 might seem a little bit of a strange movement there, but it will just really help to strengthen those glutes, so those bum muscles, so you can keep nice and stable in your posture. And obviously it's working those arms as well, just by driving overhead. But otherwise, the lunge on option 1, it's a nice solid plant as you then lunge forward, noticing that front knee doesn't come too far forward. Okay, you've got a 15-second recovery now, and we're just going to switch to the other side. So the idea here is just to make sure that you really get that sense of when you plant that foot, particularly on option 1, that you feel really extended in those hips. And just by lifting that arm overhead with whichever side you're extending, it just really works all down the side of the body to help stabilize. So good stuff, really purposeful movements. Last 15 seconds. Making sure those knees stay in line with the feet for the lunge. Working with your breath as well. So you breathe out as you do the effort and then in as you recover. 15 seconds and a nice simple twist again here, guys. So step back and twist. Step back with the opposite foot to whichever direction you are twisting. Again, the hips stay facing forward. So this just really helps to work those fascial slings through the body and those small core control muscles. Nice one to get a bit of range of motion into the spine as well. Growing through the top of the head. Good stuff, guys. Taking that head around with you as you go as well. Just dissociating the shoulders with the hips, so the hips stay still, the shoulders move. Excellent work. Okay, so another 45-second recovery. The next 2 rounds, just do at your own pace, yeah, always keeping that technique there. As I say, I won't be commentating on these next 2, so it's a good chance for you just to focus in on your own form, turn that music up and get a really good workout. Well done, guys. You've made it to the core section now, which is not necessarily a rest, but yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, this one, guys. So song is Giants by Dermot Kennedy. Just getting up into a plank position here now. So really good chance just to work that core whilst we're a little bit tired, so that we get used to doing it when we're tired, used to activating. So starting off with a suicide plank, leading with opposite arms each time, or switching the arm that you're leading with, trying to keep the body as stable as possible. There will be some twisting on this one though, obviously, but keep going. That's it. So dropping to the elbows, driving up nice and straight. Now jumping the feet in and out. That's nice. And then touching opposite shoulders. And try not to twist the body too much. So similar to the warm up here now. So really feeling that core activating, and then tapping the shoulders still as you can in that body, having a quick stretch now, guys. Okay, we're going to just reach over and try and touch the ground to the side as you twist your body over. You will perhaps need to lift one arm off slightly as you go, noticing a difference from one side to the other. If there's any tightnesses. But strength with twisting is a real good way of preventing injuries. So back into our plank jack. So jumping the feet out, now tapping those shoulders. Good, good, good. Quick stretch back, and then jumping those feet out again. And tapping those shoulders. Well done, well done. Okay, so we're going to come up into a high pike now. So this is where, yeah, you're going to come back into a plank in between, but then really lift the bum as high as you can, going up onto those toes. And what that does is it really will activate the lower abdominals. Fantastic. Okay, onto the side now, onto your elbow. You're just going to feed through and then open out to the side. So head stays in line with the spine, and then switch sides. That's it, reaching up, threading through. If you want to go on your knee for these planks, then you can do at any stage. Good, reaching up. And reaching up, just switching sides now. Well done, nearly there, nearly there. And stretching forward. Good stuff. Okay, time to stretch now. So the next song in the playlist will be the one for this, which is Anyone by Justin Bieber. So really nice upper body stretch here now. So you might not realize actually how tight you might be in here, but this is a really wonderful stretch just to open that out. So you're just going to circle around one way, keep circling. So sitting however's comfortable for you on your heels as well. Now changing direction. So really imagining you doing like a slow motion hula hoop. Enjoying that full range of motion. Okay, so coming on into a semi-side plank now. So on your knee, and you're going to swing that arm around in one direction, twice, and then change direction. So really just reaching along with the side of the body. That's lovely. Taking that arm back, taking the top leg back, also arching through the side of the body, looking up towards the sky. Good. Okay, we're going to come back now into a kneeling position, a little bit more advanced here now. Going to tuck those toes under. If you can, reach behind you with those hands as well. So you're just going to stretch out those forearms, looking up towards the ceiling. So don't worry if you can't do this, if it's too much. Just simply put your hands in your lower back, look up towards the sky, and just lean back a little bit. Now coming forward into child's resting pose, holding that there. So we're just reversing that spine stretch now. rolling up, going to come into the side plank on the other side this time. Arm reaches high, do 2 circles, just follow it round with your eyes as well. And then reverse that, sweeping and reaching, taking that top arm, top leg back, creating that arch through the body. Well done. And now, sitting on your bum, we're going to balloon forward as we stretch out those hamstrings now. So reaching and then lifting that chest, folding, head down, then up. Only going as far, obviously, as what is comfortable for you. And now rolling onto your back, hugging those knees in. Don't need to come all the way up, just as enough so that you can really feel that stretch into the upper back again. Little rocks. Little hugs now of the knee into the chest, so we're focusing more on the lower back. Circling those knees in opposition, so you really just open out the hips. And change direction. Gentle, subtle movements just to keep the motion in those joints, and then wiggle those legs. And well done, guys. Thank you very much for taking part. I hope you enjoyed.